I'm gonna show you how I made this amazing lemon zest that is shelf stable. Hi guys, welcome back to Yard to Table. My name's Angela. If we haven't met before, I am trying to create an urban homestead as best as I can. So let me show you what I did a few weeks ago. My husband and I love doing lemon ginger shots in the morning, and we always split a shot. I juice it myself, and I was wondering, I'm using up all of this lemon juice, but not the rind. And I was thinking to myself, well, if I ever made lemon scones, it calls for lemon zest. And then I was thinking, well, I'm on this whole dehydrating kick with dehydrating bananas and strawberries and haskell's and all this other wonderful things. And I was wondering, I'm like, well, what if I were to just dehydrate the lemon zest and then I could have it on hand? And then I thought, well, I don't want to grate the dried up lemon zest strips. Well, what if I threw it into my blender? Let me tell you, best choice I've ever made. So let me show you what ended up happening. I took just a regular jar that I have, the lid it came with, it's like an old mayo jar. And I ended up making lemon zest. And it's dehydrated, and I used this, and it came out phenomenal. It's a bit chunky, just like as lemon zest would be when you're grating it. And I guess I could have like put it in the blender for a little bit longer, but you could always do that option because I noticed that there is quite a bit of like lemon powder, but I like mine a little chunky. So I've already used this. First of all, it smells amazing. It smells like it's like packed with sugar. Like it's the sweetest lemon meringue pie smell that I've ever smelled. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, when I go to the pantry and I'm having a hard day, I open this up, and I just dream of lemon meringue pie right under my face, minus the calories. So then I was thinking, if this has turned out so well, and I've also made lemon scones with it, turned out amazing. I made an aioli with homemade mayo, and it was a lemon sage aioli. Oh. I ended up giving it to my friends because I was like, you have to taste this. It smells so good. And now I'm thinking I should do an episode of how I made my aioli. But I was thinking if the lemon turned out so well, why not look into orange and lime? So that's what today's episode is all about. This amazing lemon zest that is shelf stable. I've had it for, it's been over a month. So, and like I've used quite a bit of it. So I thought, well, if the lemon zest came out so amazing, let's try lemon and lime zest and do the exact same process. So I'm gonna show you today exactly what I did so you can have it at home. So after you've washed all of the citrus, what you're going to do is then you're gonna start peeling. So you've got your rind, and then you've got the white part, and then inside, hang on, a bad example. You've got your basically your fruit on the inside of this white rind. What you're gonna do is you're gonna peel all of your citrus, and you're gonna try and get the least amount of this white stuff as possible, because you're wanting the flavor of the orange part to come out. Now, if you have like a lot like this, it's not huge. You just don't want to peel it like that, where you are going down to the skin, like down to the fruit, and you're getting these massive chunks of this, because you're gonna be blending the white part as well. So you're just not wanting like a crazy amount of that. But again, try your best. So you're gonna go in and you're gonna peel all of your fruit. Now, I'm not the best peeler, but my lemon zest came out perfectly fine. And at the end of the day, we're dehydrating everything. So always make sure that you're taking out the little part where the blossom was, or the stem, sorry. And you're gonna cut this off, okay? Because that's a big chunk of lemon zest. There's lots of lemon zest in there. And then you're just gonna peel it. Now I find the best way, instead of peeling it like an apple and going around in circles, if you peel your apples that way, I find the best way is just to go from top to bottom, and then you've got these long pieces, okay? So you're just gonna go in, and same with your limes. You're gonna go and you're gonna peel everything just like that. And if you have a little bit of the white, you can either leave it or you can just kind of scrape it off like that. But it's no big deal. So now that I've finished all of my oranges, you can see that I do have a bunch of pieces with a lot of the white left in there, and it's not gonna ruin this, and you're gonna try to get as least amount as possible. Ideally, this would be like the perfect piece, but I'm not that great of a slicer and I'm not perfect. So, and it's very, very hard to achieve this. Now that I've done all of my oranges, I'm gonna move on to the limes, and it's the same exact thing. In between zesting peeling the limes and oranges and the next step, I wanted to quickly run it to the yard and put on the sprinklers for all the veggies, and I got completely soaked. So this is the reason. Anyways, let's move on to the next step. So I don't want anything to go to waste, which is the whole reason why I ended up making this. Now, if you're wondering what I did with the lemons, well, you know, we do lemon and ginger shots, so that's what I did. But if you're wondering what I am going to be doing with the limes and the oranges, this is what I think is a really cool way of using it. So if you live somewhere south or warmer where you have a lot of abundance and you have citrus trees and those are coming into season, this is a great way to actually preserve all of that greatness without having anything to go to waste. So we're gonna be juicing everything. So I've got my Nama juicer. I used to have an Omega. It broke. I'm kind of glad it did because it wasn't that great. This Nama juicer, I love it. You load it, you step away, and you don't have to babysit this thing. So what I actually did was I was trying to figure out ways that you can preserve these citrus items without having to freeze, because I don't want to invest in another deep freezer. We already have one. It's packed to the gills. I don't want to have to use space because freezer space for our family is such a high valued item that if I can find an alternative, I'm going to do it. So I was looking around, and on one of the channels that I follow, and I'll link it below, she was actually canning leftover orange juice. And I thought, wow, that's really clever. And it got kind of the ball rolling that, well, in order to can anything like tomatoes, jams, jellies, any of those things, you're always adding either lemon juice, lime juice, you're adding some sort of acid. Well, why can't I actually can the acid? And that kind of got the ball rolling. Well, it's not only just store-bought orange juice that I can have that inspired this whole next step for me, but why not do other stuff like lemons, limes, basically anything in the citrus family? So that's exactly what I'm gonna do today. Is you're going to take all of your orange peels and you're just going to lay them out. Now, mind you, you don't have to have a dehydrator. What I've done in the past is lay these out on parchment paper, no oil or anything, just parchment paper, and put them again face down and stick, like when you're closing the oven door, you're going to stick a wooden spoon or something into it just to keep the door open a little bit, just so it can vent out. And you're gonna set your oven at the absolute lowest setting that it will basically kick in at, and you're just gonna leave it there. So with my dehydrator, I set it to, it says 135 Fahrenheit or 35°C. So if you can get your oven that low, then that's awesome. If you can't, not a problem. Just keep in mind when you're using a dehydrator, you don't have a ton of space in between each level. So with pieces like this, when they dry, they're gonna wanna curl. So what I do is if I have a longer piece, I just break it in half and then I just lay them out. Like this one is for sure gonna curl. And the problem with that is once you start pulling out the trays, then they're gonna get caught up in each other and you're not gonna be able to pull them out that easily. And I don't wanna break mine. So that's why I just kind of cut it into smaller pieces. Just make sure they're not overlapping at all and you're off to the races. And the other thing that I've actually tried and it works is if you want to go to a restore or if you ever see like a garage sale, someone's selling the bug nets or the bug screens for windows, you can always lay this on top, like obviously wash it, and then you can lay this out and then stick it in a dry place. It's gonna take significantly longer than a dehydrator, but it's gonna do the same thing. So this is what it looks like in the blender. So I've already done my limes and this is just my lemons. So as you can see, they're just breaking apart really easily. This is basically a way that you know that it's done right, is when you basically, with no effort at all, break them apart. So this is the lime and the smell is like key lime pie, but you can see after I've blended it, it is such a nice powder. There are some bigger chunks in it, and I could basically leave it in my blender if I wanted it to all be that small powder texture, but I'm okay to have some chunks. So some ideas I was thinking of having this in is an aioli, or putting into scones, or if I want to do like an overnight oat, I can sprinkle some in. If I want to kind of do like a pina colada version, I could put some lime zest in, I could put some shredded coconut in, and have kind of like a tropical sort of overnight oat flavor to it. So I'm going to show you how I get from this to this, and it's so easy. And I just see I have another peel here. So I just poured them all in there. All of my orange peels are in there. I haven't plugged this in yet because I wanted to be safe. So I'm just going to put that on. I'm blending it at about a 7. I pretty much just leave my Vitamix on as 7 all the time. There we go. And now it's going to get really loud. And there you have it. Beautiful orange zest that I can put into, if I want to make, instead of French toast, like a citrus toast or anything like that, if I want to make like an orange aioli, or if I want to put this into any salad dressings or anything. And it's so nice because I now have lime zest whenever I want. I have orange zest whenever I want. And because I did it before, I have my lemon zest whenever I want. And there we've got it. Some nice freshly grated or pulverized rather orange zest. And the nice thing about this is it smells delicious. It smells like it's already been, like it's already a baked good. So if you were to make like say orange muffins or anything like that, or an orange scone, that's what this actually smells like. It doesn't smell like orange juice. Thanks for joining me again, friends. And I hope you got some great value out of today's episode. I just by a strange fluke thought, hey, if I'm dehydrating onions and I can make onion powder, why not do the same thing with citrus? So I'm very, very glad that I did this. It's such a cool thing to do. And I can't wait to get my hands on this with some other cool recipes, maybe some overnight oats. I don't even know, but here's the orange and here is the lime and my lemon, which is almost gone. I have put this stuff in everything almost. It is delicious. I actually put it in some waffles and then drizzled a little honey on it with a little bit of cinnamon. Oh my gosh, it was delicious. So I think I'm gonna have to make an episode on these crazy, amazing lemon zest waffles that I made the other night. I can't wait to see you guys on the next episode for you guys to join me. Until next time, bye guys.